Really good team effort. Both offense, defense, and special teams can be more pleased the way the team played today, the way they responded. Really rallied behind a young man. He went out and played almost flawless football and kept the game really clean and kept everything clean for us in order for us to get a win. I was really pleased with the efforts today.
Yeah, Coach Paul Newberry's retiring after 40 years with the Associated Press. Let's let him open it up today.
Well, I wasn't ready for that.
That's awesome. Is that Abraham?
I'm glad to send you out with a win.
Look at John Abraham. Sorry, I just seen John Abraham in the audience. Man, I haven't seen you one time. This is the first time I've seen you, man. I haven't seen you since 2000, I don't know, 2 when I was at the Jets, man. Sorry, guys.
Front runner. How much of a front runner is John Abraham? You mentioned Penix, so keeping it clean, and obviously it helps when you have 2 pick sixes, but just his performance has to be kind of gratifying to you to make such a tough switch here at this time of the year and him to come through like that.
The only thing I would say is gratifying to us as an organization. I don't take any personal recognition or any personal pride behind those type of decisions. Those decisions will always be made as a collaborative effort between myself, Terry, our management crew, and all the people that we involved with those things, along with our ownership. And, it's a great job by us. It's a great job by how we wanted to manage it, how we wanted to get him out there. Like we mentioned last week, the plan came a little bit sooner, but the kid was ready. We had a lot of time to develop him. The kid did a great job himself developing himself and getting ready for that moment where it wasn't too big. And I was really proud and pleased with the effort he was able to go out there and play with.
Yeah, Coach, could you also address the play of Bijan Robinson and getting the 2 pick sixes from Bates and Matthew Judon?
Bijan has been outstanding all year, and the things that he's able to do, he's special. If it wasn't for this other guy out in Philly, he'd get a lot more recognition, across the league. But that guy's having a special year, and Bijan's not far behind him. I don't know exactly what the stats are because those things are for losers. But, I love the fact that Bijan's on our team. I love the fact that what he's able to do all the time. And when we're just talking about defense, you got to give the whole defense credit and how they're rushing as a unit, how they're playing as a unit, and all the things just getting better throughout the season. And what they've been able to do since the bye really has been really impressive. And going out there and scoring touchdowns on defense, those are the things that happen when you get a chance to put people behind the 8 ball, being able to stop the run, and get into some of the pass situations, allowing guys like Jesse Bates and Judon to make plays.
Coach, you give out game balls.
I did not today, actually.
No game balls.
You believe
today?
that? I was so excited to let these guys know. I did not today. I will. I should have given the whole team a game ball. The way they played as a team, the way they played as a unit. So we'll do that. We'll do that soon enough.
Okay, and then talk about you talked a little bit about Jesse Bates' interception return for a touchdown, but just how big was that in the second quarter? Like a big momentum shift gave you a lead that you guys never relinquished.
It's hard to say. To belittle any time you get a pick six or you get a chance to score on defense or special teams like we've done before. And when you do those things, those are big momentum shifts, those things that shift the way the game's going to be played. Those things shift the way you call the game. Those things shift about everything that you want to do when you maintain that league and finishing like a pro. Realistically for us, having 2 first-time play callers, those are great growing and development moments for us. When you're talking about the coaches, for young Zach Robinson, how to manage that football game and keep us out of harm's way. And I think we had a 12-play drive in the second half and a 15-play drive in the second half, and that's outstanding. Jimmy Lake going out there, being able to get a couple 3-and-outs, and Marquise just continue to stay aggressive. I don't know if that was a block punt, a shank, whatever it was, but playing aggressive on special teams, allowing people not to get comfortable. And I love the aggression. I love the mentality from the whole coaching staff and the players. And like I said, couldn't be more proud of the guys and how they performed.
Raheem,
Oh,
right here.
sorry.
Raheem, you mentioned the other day how Penix's athleticism kind of can change things for you. How did you see that play out today?
I think we only had one time to see him really scramble, and one other time where he was able to get away and throw a ball away. Those little subtle athletic movements are things that just we've seen since we've got him, honestly, that we did not see on college tape, at least last year. So the things that he's been able to do with us in training camp and being able to tell me that he was going to run away from somebody and all those things, I got a chance to see it today. So to see it happen live in good moments with a slide on one big-time gain, another one just being able to get away from a sack and throw the football away, those are grown men, professional-type plays that you love to see from your young quarterback.
Coach, down the middle. Are we going to watch the Tampa Bay Dallas game as a coaching staff, or just focus on Washington next week? And
No, we'll watch those things the way they go about their business, right? You know, obviously, after the game, the coaches will all go home. We'll get an early jump of some of the things that's going on with the Washington Commanders to be able to get ready for that Sunday night football game that's coming up next week, because that's big time for us, right? We're really worried about ourselves. We're really focused on what we have to do as opposed to everybody else. And, like, we'll let those guys sweat that out, man. We'll go out and get ready to play the next game.
Coach, what's the difference between the Michael Penix that you had today out there and the one that came into camp all those months ago?
That's a great question. I would say the rapport with Zach Robinson. I would say the ability to go out there and be really comfortable spitting out all the plays, and they know exactly what the purpose of the play is, the clean footwork, the ability to know some of the wideouts and the concepts like his own, the ability to go out there and be able to retain the information, to be able to bring it to the sideline and be able to communicate and talk through situational football. I think the guy's just a grown adult that came in with a high level of football experience that's done nothing over the last 14 weeks or 15 weeks, whatever it's been, of working that into his game. And I couldn't be more proud of the young man.
up here, Raheem. Obviously, you've touched on it here throughout this press conference, but is there a sense of relief? I mean, you've seen him on the practice field, you've worked with him behind the scenes, so you knew what you had. But to see it translate during a live game, how much of a relief is that for you and your staff right now?
I don't know. That's kind of a soft word that I don't like to use, Jared, when you say relief, because I just got confidence, like in the young man. And like I was talking to ownership today, and I was just talking to those guys about how well he practiced and talking about some of the things that he did and what really looked good for us, because like we have all these great questions when we're talking amongst each other, what's going to look different, how are we going to manage the game, and we're able to really clearly put those in dialect for whoever's asking, whoever we're talking to, and we're talking about certain things. I just think it came to fruition today, and I don't know if it was a sense of relief. It's just being able to go watch him go execute it during the game and during the whole cycle. I knew we created the situations in practice with our Mamba periods and making it tough on him. I knew we were able to create those things with him being able to go out there and simulate things versus our first team defense, and to watch him grow and develop even behind Kurt when he was the number 2 and how he prepared. So just to watch him go do it, it was more fun to watch than actual relief. It wasn't a relief, but for me, it was more of just a sense of pride.
Mechanics are everything when it comes to quarterback accuracy. How do you view Michael Penix Jr. purely from a mechanical perspective?
I think that was a narrative from the draft, however you want to look at it, from the quarterback experts on what you like and what you don't like. And what I loved about Michael was his ability to get the ball out of his hand and some of those things. When you're talking about small detail and mechanics that you can change whenever you really feel like it from a quarterback standpoint, on where you are in the pocket, where you want to throw from in the pocket, what platform you want to throw from, those things are very easy and simple to be done and easily articulated, whether it be TJ or Doug Williams Jr. actually articulating that to him, and to be able to watch him go do that stuff and seamlessly go through his motion, his rhythm of how you get the ball out. It's pretty easy for us. Those things don't really matter as much as the kid's accuracy, the kid's arm talent, his mind, what's between his eyes, and all those things. And he has that in a big way. And that's what he showed us throughout the draft process. So being able to watch him go articulate and do those things today was absolutely outstanding. You'll always be able to critique footwork. We can critique that in anything that we do, any position that we coach, any position that we play. And we'll always be able to have a chance to go back and correct some of those things to find out if we can get them better.
Am I right that the Mamba period just means ones versus ones?
It usually means ones versus ones, good on good competition, a non-scout team look. However you want to look at that, when you just got a chance to go out there and really preview some plays, whether it be blitzes, whether it be situations that you might not see unless it comes up in a game. And that's a competitive period for both Jimmy Lake and Zach Robinson to go against each other. And you can get a little bit of fighting with those two in those periods, and I really love that. A chance to go out there and really officiate those things for me, whether it be a 2-minute situation or whatever it is with him that he needs to get better at. And you got a real good look at Michael throughout the year and throughout the season with all those periods.
Did you do more of them this week just to help prep him?
No, we kept the same amount of Mamba periods, changed up a couple of things that we thought he might need, like a 2-minute situation. I was able to change up a couple of things that he might need as far as a first, second down, third down in a row, back to back. But we kept the same rhythm and routine that we normally have, just gave him a couple different things that I thought he would benefit from not playing in the games prior.
Were there any markers you were looking for as you went through this week to give you some comfort that he was, in fact, ready and was, in fact, going to respond the way you thought he would? And can you relay any of those if there was a moment where you felt you checked a box in your mind?
Tuesday, when we made the decision, he passed that marker. They passed those markers up to that point. We're ready to go with him stepping on the field. And then his practice week and his rhythm and his routine that he was able to go out there and show us just gave us more confidence.
Can you identify a favorite play at this point? I mean, I know you got to go back and watch the film, but was there something that happened out there in one specific?
Are we talking about specifically Michael
Yeah,
or
yeah,
just the team in general?
Yeah, Michael.
You know, I enjoy football entirely too much to pick a favorite play from Mike, you know, but I just enjoy the fact that him coming off the field, being able to verbalize things when they went wrong and to be able to communicate those things to us very clearly. And, like, that's a sign of an adult. That's a sign of a different form of maturity for us. And, like, those are things for me that I really covet.
Yeah, to follow up on that, doing it in practice is one thing, but was there maybe a moment that we didn't see or wouldn't recognize a successful play that you felt that he was ready for the moment today that could basically own the responsibility of leading this team?
I mean, you've been there every week and had a chance to see those guys go out there and play and compete or not. But, you know, you've been around. And, like, I think those moments have just been accumulating throughout the season. Like, you see wow moments, whether it be throwing the football or you see wow moments of things that he saw and was able to articulate to us in a practice setting, and then he was able to go do it today. So it's just what he's been doing since he's been here.
Well, Raheem, you said a few weeks ago that you saw the pass rush coming, you know, that we're seeing right now. What was it that you saw in the past, and what are they doing right now that's making you guys so effective at getting to the quarterback?
I think we talked about it before, man. I think I was telling Led, I was like, it's coming. Like, I can see it in practice and how we're practicing, how we're getting better. But really, over the last couple of weeks, they've cracked the code and they got a feel and they're rushing together, right? When you get, that's John right next to you, but when you get four guys all rushing together, that's how it happens the best. And then when you add that fifth element, or you're able to have the fake fifth element, all of those things happen where you know where your space is, where you can take your shots and really take those chances and those opportunities. And they're really making the most out of them, whether it's Caden Ellis, whether it's Big Rook, whether it's AK, who's really dominated over the last couple of weeks. I'm really proud of how they're rushing together. You know, Matthew Judon, like, it's easy to go out there and look for somebody to get 15 sacks, but that's just not the nature of the beast when you don't have a guy like sitting next to you to be able to go out there and do it. But to be able to go out there and rush the passer is one, I think is what we found out.
So is it more so that they're doing it individually, or is there some kind of scheme that you guys are doing, or what's?
I think it's a combination of those guys being able to rush is one, right? Knowing where they're going to be, being able to execute the things that we want to get them to execute, whether it be games, whether it be straight rush, whether it be just rushing at the level of the quarterback, being able to rush with power, knowing the times you can and when you can't. I think they're doing a great job of keeping guys in the pocket, keeping them in the framework of the play, whether it's been a three-man rush, whether it's been a four-man rush, or whether it's been five or more.
Yeah, Coach, did you get a update on Drake London and his hamstring, and would he have been able to go back in today?
I believe he would have went back in. I don't have any updates or anything like that. Led came right to you guys, but I look forward to him being ready to practice next week.
Anything else? Thanks, everyone.
All right, guys.
How y'all doing? Good.
Raphael Haynes with the three-point conversion. Mike, can you just talk about the win today, your preparation, and then the fact that it's over and the results?
Yeah, man, it was great, man. I've been preparing each and every day for this day. You know, always preparing like the starter, even though I wasn't at first. But, you know, it's a blessing to be able to come out here and get a big-time win for the team. And defense played a heck of a game. You know, a big credit to those guys, 2 touchdowns on the defense side of the ball. And the offensive line, you know, the way that they play, you know, kept me clean all game. And obviously getting the ball to the playmakers that we have, you know, they're going to make plays, and they did all game. So it was such a blessing, you know, and it was a great game, great team game.
You've been in this league playing before in terms of earlier in the season, but did it feel different?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's different. You know, being a starter, you know, you're up there. You know, the other 2 times that I got to play, you know, we were down, and it's a different feel in the game at that point. You know, but being out there the first snap, you know, it felt a little different. But I was excited. You know, I was ready for the moment. So.
Can you talk a little bit about your interaction with Kirk Cousins before the game, and then just your overall evaluation of your first performance in the NFL?
Yeah, man. Kirk has been great all week. You know, just always being there for me. You know, in anything that I need help with, and he's been great. You know, he's a great leader, great teammate, and you know, we talk all the time. We're coming off the sidelines. He always asking me, you know, what I saw, and you know, he continued to encourage me throughout the whole game. I don't remember the second question.
Your evaluation of your performance today, just overall.
Yeah, I mean, it's always going to be things that you look back on and you know you can clean up. And, I feel like I could have did a couple of things better, and we'll get that cleaned up. But it was a blessing that we was able to come out with a win, and whatever we need to get fixed, it'll show on film, and we'll make sure we target that throughout this week so that we'll be ready for next week.
Michael, down the middle. You got your first start out the way. Now you're going to have your first Sunday night football start coming up. Just your thoughts on playing in Washington, playing on Sunday night, playing in a must-win type of situation.
Yeah, man. Like I said, just take it one day at a time. I always live by that want-to-know mindset, and just going one day at a time, So each and every day I practice, just make sure that, I'm preparing and make sure that whenever game time do come, we're 100% ready and we got everything down and we feel good about the game plan and just go out there and execute. That's what it's going to come down to is execution. Yeah, it's a must-win game, but that's not how we're looking at it. We're looking at it as just the next game, and we gotta win each and every game, and that's our mentality going in each and every week. So.
Michael, you look like you were totally composed out there. Were you as composed as you looked?
Yeah, man, I was, man. I'm just blessed. I just, like I said, like before the game, I just let God take over. I know that, I'm here for a reason. I worked extremely hard to get to this position, and I just had to go out there and execute, and we executed to get a win today. So big credit to the defense as well, like I said. So it was great.
I think about that one play in the second quarter where you were about to be sacked, and you kind of got rid of the ball without getting an intentional grounding call on it. Talk about that, about how it just looked like you've been there before in that type of situation.
I mean, I've played a lot of football, so I've been in a lot of situations before. I thought I should have broke that tackle. I should have got out of it, but he had me, and he was about to tackle me, and I saw Drake, and I knew I could throw it at his feet to save some yards, so that's what I did.
Michael, were there any moments of nervousness coming out? I mean, for the first NFL start? I mean, you said, you looked incredibly composed, like it was just another day. I've been doing this for 15 years. But were there any moments you had to kind of catch yourself or kind of revel in it a little bit or prevent yourself from reveling in the moment a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, you do feel that stuff, but once you hit the field, once I hit the field, it goes away. It's the game I've been playing since I was 5 years old, and, obviously it's different. It's at a higher level, but, it's the same game. I just got to go out there and execute. So once we hit the field, I was good. So.
Michael, you had said earlier this week that you would be nervous during the running out to the field portion of the game, but then once you got out there, you'd be good. Did you nail that part? You got it?
Yeah, yep.
You good?
That's exactly what I talked about, yep. I was good once I hit the field. So.
You hadn't thrown to the starters a ton, in practice this season. What is that, chemistry building process like, and how will that continue to evolve?
Yeah, I mean, it takes a lot of reps. That's the biggest thing, just getting those reps in practice, as many live reps as we can. And we did a lot of reps this past week, and we're going to continue to grow. So what you saw there today, a couple missed throws, stuff like that, it's only going to get better. So as we continue to work, continue to get more comfortable with that connection, especially like I think about one to Drake today. He's a big receiver. I threw the fade to him. I just got to know I got to get that ball up higher, and he's going to make that play. But like I said, it's just more reps we get, the more comfortable we're going to be with it, and game time we're going to show it. So.
Raheem said that when he was in here that one of the things that he liked the most about your game today was how you were able to verbalize some of the maybe things you didn't do perfectly coming off the field. What were some of those things that you said you need to clean up?
Yeah, man, just some of the reasons, just processing stuff. I know at the end of the half, making that throw to Kyle Pitts, just trusting my guy to make a play, but at the same time, just understanding the situation and stuff like that. How much time is on the clock, no timeouts. Just make sure I'm making that right decision, but knowing that next play we got to go spike the ball, and we probably have 6-7 seconds. So just stuff like that. Just evaluating some of that stuff, going over it. That'll come. As we continue to keep going throughout these weeks, as we continue to have those talks and stuff like that. But just small stuff like that. And for me and this team, I know we want to get first downs, each and every drive. So if we had a 3-and-out today, it's that's unacceptable. We gotta move the ball and give our defense great field position if we don't get in the end zone. So.
Michael, when we spoke back in April, you said that you felt you had a lot of unique things within your skill set, unique talents, particularly your arm talent. You said was different than other people. How do you feel like that is, and how do you feel like that shined through today?
Yeah, I mean, man, I just trust in it. I trust in it. I trust in my reads. I trust in my preparation. So whenever I go out there, I'm able to play fast and make those throws on time, on rhythm, anticipating and stuff like that. But, I like you said, man, I feel like, I trust my arm because of, the reps that I have. I see it each and every day throughout practice. I'm making those throws. Those guys are making those plays. Offensive line keeping me protected. So when it comes to game day, it's just another day for us. So, yeah, I just trust in myself. Trust in myself, trust that God will guide me in the right direction. So.
Did your game day routine from, the time you get up, what you eat, et cetera, change either intentionally or unintentionally today, you think?
No, everything was the same. Everything was the same. Like I said, I've been preparing as a starter each and every week, so I'm not changing what I've been doing.
Also, very clean game on your side, but also it helps when the defense played like it did to get a. Can you just discuss, having a little bit of a comfort zone because of, when the defense is returning 2 pick sixes, it does make things a bit easier on the offensive side.
Yeah, like I said, man, it's great. It's wonderful, to have that. And it's credit to those guys. They do it each and every day in practice. They work extremely hard. You can see the attention to details they have. We go in the locker room, and I'm next to Jesse Bates, and the way they talk in the locker room about stuff that they saw on the field, and it's nonstop, man. And it's credit to those guys, credit to Coach Lake, leading those guys, and the defensive line doing a great job putting pressure on the quarterback to allow those turnovers. So it's all around great effort. So.
Mike, I talked to Bijan in the locker room. He said on that swing pass in the third quarter, where he was trying to dive to get into the end zone, he wasn't able to do it. He said he, quote, felt awful about that, and he came back in the huddle and told you that he apologized to you. What does that kind of mean to you for, him to say that and try so hard to get you that first touchdown of your NFL career?
Yeah, man. I told him it's all good, man. We won the football game. That's the biggest thing. But man, it shows the person he is. The character that we have, not just with him, but everybody on this team. Everybody caring about each other. He talked about giving me my first touchdown. I'm like, hey, it'll come. It'll come. The biggest thing we want to do each and every weekend is win. So we was able to do that. So I'm super excited we did that. But yeah, he did come to me and say that. But I told him it's all good, bro. You got an end zone, we good.
Michael, before the game, cameras caught you and Kirk talking in the tunnel. What did he say to you? What did you say to each other?
Each and every game we pray. We pray. Kirk prays over the group and just prays that we go out there and execute at a high level and we stay safe doing it. So that's what it was. He was praying.
Michael, what was the final ticket number that you had for family and friends today, and will you be celebrating at Costco?
I don't. I know I gave 25 tickets maybe, but we won't be at Costco. Hopefully it's something better, like something like fancier. Costco is great. Costco need to hit me up.
Michael, was there anybody that played in the NFL that hit you up this week to give you some type of motivation or pep talk or anything? And then what was it like to get in the locker room and the guys celebrate you after this win?
I mean, my teammates, just being there for me, just encouraging me, just letting me know that I don't have to do anything outside of what I do and just go out there and be myself. And then after the game, the love in the locker room is great, man. It's like that each and every day, man. We had that strong bond on this team, and I'm super thankful for it. And it starts with Raheem, and the way that, he leads us, and just shows what it's like to be a family, more than just a team, just be a family. And it's a blessing to be able to be on this team, and it was a lot of love in the building. So, sir, rise up.